Let's get working.
Good morning.
The Chronicle says this morning, technology breakthrough for Ghana, margins to build ID system for the Gambia.
Yeah,
that is good news.
yeah.
One of our greatest exports is doing great things.
Amazing.
Let me take you to another story on the front page. Mahama takes bold decision to build or to refine gold in Ghana. Sami Jemfi is here on the front page signing the necessary documentation. Also, reckless diplomacy has cost Ghana billions. This is coming in from the minority. And then the Chronicle is still retracting a story or an article it published some months ago.
So Daily Guide has the story of margins and gold board. In this one, they say no more raw gold export. Gold board, Gold Coast refinery signed deal. But the unique one here is ex-NPP candidate stabs wife in US and he's gotten arrested. Governor Japan has unveiled 6 pillar policies and a black one must go. Minorities demanding.
The Ghanaian publisher says Ghana signs historic gold refining deal. Also on the front page, sack reckless and incompetent Ablakwa. That's coming in from the minority. Family alleges judicial misrepresentation in Nungwa land dispute, and IES backs MPA price floor policy.
Right. The Insight says petition for removal of SP, EC chair and deputies. Care Ghana calls for speed, fairness in judicial process, and Ghana needs 20 years of NPP opposition for real change. Yeah. This is A+.
Let me take you to the Economy Times. Industry players upbeat as the economy is seeing a turnaround. They are appealing for further rate cut to spur cheaper credit. Also, the front page, Ghanaian exporters eye new agua opportunities as program extension ends trade uncertainty. And GRA's AI initiative at ports to boost revenue by some 45% at no cost to importers.
The Ghanaian Point, NPP presidential primary, flag bearer hopefuls to sign peace pact tomorrow. And US visa freeze. Ghana is now seen as a migration risk. Minority demands a Black West sacking. Ex-NPP parliamentary candidate Valentino Noi Norte arrested in US over alleged stabbing of wife. And patience is what is required. We are almost there. CDS Major General William Ejapong assures retired soldiers.
All right. Are you done?
Oh, cool. So the custodian says be part of Baumia's imminent victory. Arnold Domper to NPP delegates. Gold board, Gold Coast refinery move to refine gold locally and sack and fit a Blackwa over diplomatic failures. Minority tells Mahama. IES backs NPA price floor regime. That story is here as well.
The Daily Graphic leads with homegrown solutions drive economic gains. The vice president is photographed here in a warm handshake with the director of the IMF's Africa Department, Abebe Selassie. Also, Gold Board signs agreement to refine gold locally. I'm the most viable candidate to unite MPP, Kwabena J. Jepong speaking. And then major legal education reforms begin August. Keep an eye on this.
Okay.
CitiNewsroom.com leads with Ofori-Atta's U.S. immigration case is adjourned to April 27. In other headlines, KK Sapong says sustainability is key to Ghana's economic gains. He says he's also open to working in Mahama's government. In other headlines, NDC PEX also is parliamentary filing fee at 40,000 CDs.
Okay.
And Baumia says, ignore the lies, vote for me. Yesterday said something funny. He said, now my opponents are using a tactic because if you miss the ball, don't miss the ball. He said, you know that playing. So he said, because they have nothing to say on issues, they are just finished. Charlie, I laugh. I say if you miss the ball, don't miss the man. Charlie, those days, man, before referees came into the that they have some because they don't have issues to say. They are using the principle of if you miss the ball, don't miss the man.
But we see it as well.
ChannelOne News Online. Vote edition to make JB Dankwa MPP founders proud. This is a spokesperson. Okay. Ghana Water Limited to shut down Peve Headworks for urgent repair works. Ghana's Shippers Authority defer implementation date of small port note. Meanwhile, new Prestia Hospital mortuary hit by repeated cable theft. People don't fear. And then divorce threat triggered stabbing of Ninoy Norte's wife. That's a really tragic one. Major Online is leading with the shooting of a NIMOS officer. One assailant killed in Bono region anti-Galamsey operation. And then protests at UG Embassy won't expedite Ofori-Atta's return. This is Frank Davis. And gospel legend Yao Sapon passes away. I need to correct something I said. So his lead singer died in December. I said a year ago. So it was last year, December. So it's a few days, a few weeks ago. There's a very serious photo of Donald Trump on the BBC's main website.
What is he doing there?
He do like this. Trump, you know, the photographer should be given an award. Trump doubles down on Greenland ahead of Davos visit. And the photo captures the man's posture. You know, it says, saying there's no going back. You know, you do this like this. Like a senior wants to bully you. And then there are a few other stories around the world. Why is Emmanuel Macron wearing sunglasses inside at Davos?
Charlie, no matter.
Charlie, he they wear glasses. You don't know dark.
If he dark, he wear.
He's wearing dark in the room.
Oh yeah, he has some serious black eye, be like that. Bloodshot eye.
Well,
you know, the last time we saw him, he was in a small disagreement with the wife.
Meanwhile, he said he won't be intimidated by U.S. Greenland threat. Meanwhile, perhaps they talk.
Father.
It's wrong.
No. According to Al Jazeera, so Al Jazeera is not trying. They put a photo of Macron.
No partner should have
wearing dark and saying that U.S. cannot intimidate.
Macron, Baba, no.
No, so let's start with our own stories here.
I before we come in though, Bernard, let me just draw your attention to the front page of the BNFT. The big story says 186 million Ghana cedi in legal tender at risk of de facto partial demonetization as traders customers shun smaller coins. That's a very serious matter.
Why are they shunning smaller coins?
I may tell you about it. Also, cashew sector sits on some $660 million in revenue.
Let me give you two quick stories, I think, to start with. So the vice president is telling the IMF that we want homegrown solutions. And in the same breath, Ghana has decided that they're going to refine our gold, which I think is a great decision. So Diana Mensah reports that the country is now entering a phase of economic transformation with cautious optimism and resolve, underpinned by reforms that are nationally owned and supported rather than dictated by development partners. Vice President Professor Jena Nopukwajiman has asserted. She said the economic gains in the past year were being sustained by the country's willingness to take difficult decisions but necessary policy decisions. Now, speaking during an engagement with the regional heads of IMF at a lunch meeting in Accra, Professor Opoku-Agyemang said Ghana's economic reality today differed markedly from that of the recent past, citing some key policies, improvements such as single-digit inflation, more stable currency, and stronger GDP growth. And she basically said that while this is good, Ghana is going to focus on its own homegrown policies to sustain the growth. And I think in the line with that, the country has decided to refine gold.
So page 3 of the Ghanaian publisher has that story. Ghana signs historic gold refining deal. And it says the Ghana Gold Board has signed an agreement with Gold Coast Refinery to refine 1 metric ton of gold locally every week as part of government efforts to add value to gold exports beginning February 1, 2026. Now, speaking at the signing ceremony in Accra, the Chief Executive Officer of Gold Board, Mr. Sami Jemfi, said the agreement with Gold Coast Refinery and its partners, Iran Refinery, forms part of a broader government strategy to ensure gold exported from Ghana undergoes full value addition.
Just a quick point, Khaled, before you come in. Gold prices are now very close to even $5,000 an ounce. Gold is now moved past $4,700 an ounce as Ghana moves to add value. So spot prices climbed 1.6% to a record 4,748.09 per ounce on Tuesday, extending a powerful rally that continues to redraw price benchmarks for the precious metal. The latest move pushes gold decisively into uncharted territory, reflecting sustained investor demand and stronger market momentum. This is linked to some of the stuff happening globally where a lot of people are now investing in gold.
That's right.
So this is a great time for Ghana. Let's not spend all the money. Let's refine the gold. Let's add value because after 7 years of plenty. There's also 7 years of drought.
Yes.
And if you are interested in the explainer published by the Gold Board, go to page 5 of the Ghanaian Publisher and you get details of why they did what they are doing.
So from the story of gold to a golden opportunity, Margins takes ID success to the Gambia. Africa's leading provider of secure national and digital identification solutions, Margins ID Group, has secured a contract to design, build, finance, cooperate, and transfer a national ID system and an integrated digital ID system for the government of the Gambia. Now, the landmark agreement signed on January 19, 2026 represents a defining milestone not only for the company but for Ghana and the broader African technology ecosystem.
Well, while gold prices are doing well,
Yeah.
global cocoa prices are dropping. The High Street Journal leads with a question: should government cut farmer rates or devalue the cedi?
Okay.
Cocoa board faces a deficit. Do you cut farmer prices and risk smuggling, or devalue the cedi and trigger nationwide inflation? A high stakes economic gamble. I think it's a really well thought through news desk analysis.
Okay.
And let me just give 2 paragraphs. The Ghana Cocoa Board is currently locked in a high stakes financial squeeze. As of January this year, the world market price for cocoa has stabilized at approximately $5,100 per ton. While this remains historically high, it is lower compared to the recent past, and it has become a liability for the Ghana's treasury due to a fixed high farm gate price and a strengthening of the cedi. Now, the current exchange rate of 10.84 cedis to the dollar, a ton of cocoa sold globally brings in roughly 55,248 cedis. However, Cocoa Board is committed to paying farmers 58,000 cedis per ton. Sky, you listen?
Yeah.
So Cocoa Board has a deficit of about 2,700 cedis on every single ton exported.
Wow.
So it's going to increase the debt. So the government has 2 options. Do you lower the farm gate price, which is very politicized, so that when you lower it, the opponents will say, NDC buy cocoa, or do you allow the city to lose some value
So
that the
maximum
city equivalent of the international price is more? These are the complexities in managing an economy, which is why we shouldn't be politicizing everything. From gold, from whatever we do. And see, everything we do,
exchange rates,
implication.
government wants to take on credit as if it's the unprecedented. Opposition to then we are all suffering. Where the world has reached, we should stop these things. Sky,
And then quickly, let me draw attention to a story on page 4 of the Ghanaian Publisher. Chiefs in Bono propose establishment of Cashew Board. First paragraph says some chiefs in the Bono region have called on the government to establish a Cashew Board to address price fluctuations affecting farmers and restore confidence in the sector.
So a black one must go is the demand of the minority caucus in Parliament. They've called on President John Dramani Mahama to immediately remove Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa as Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, accusing him of reckless diplomacy that has plunged the country into an international crisis with severe economic consequences. Addressing a press conference in Parliament yesterday, the Minorities Foreign Affairs Committee, through the MP for Bosome Freho and Deputy Ranking Member Nana Safwa said Ghana's inclusion on the United States list of 75 countries facing an indefinite pause in immigration visa processing was a direct result of what it described as the minister's immature, confrontational, and diplomatically illiterate conduct.
Let's give you 2 US-based stories. So, Ken Ofori-Atta's immigration
ma'am.
case adjourned to April 27. William Now reports that the hearing in the case involving former finance minister has been adjourned to April 27, according to a report by 3news.com. Mr. Ofori-Atta appeared before a U.S. immigration court in Virginia Tuesday, January 20, as proceedings continue over his immigration status. He was seen wearing a dark shirt and a face mask during the hearing. The hearing followed his detention earlier this month by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, with U.S. authorities arguing that the former finance minister no longer has lawful status to remain in the country after revocation of his visitor's visa. The matter was heard at the Annandale Immigration Court before Immigration Judge David Garde focused on a bond redetermination and a preliminary review of his case. Court records indicate that Mr. Ofori-Atta is currently being held at the Caroline Detention Center. Meanwhile, another story in relation to this suggests that the matter will be heard in camera.
Okay.
So the judge has said that the matter going forward will not be heard in front of the public.
Yes, so let me take you to the Herald newspaper. There's a related story. Ex-NPP parliamentary aspirant arrested in the U.S. over alleged wife stabbing.
Charlie.
Now, David Japaning, who is uncle to Gilda Norte, the wife of former NPP parliamentary candidate for Clote Cole Valentino Ni Noy Norte has confirmed that his niece is in a stable condition and responding positively to treatment after she was allegedly stabbed in the United States. An American online publication identified Mr. Norte as the suspect in a stabbing incident that occurred in their county in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, now the government and cement manufacturers dismissed price increase. So the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Honorable Elizabeth Ofori-Atta, has met with the leadership of the Chamber of Cement Manufacturers Ghana to address growing public concerns over cement prices and reinforce the government's commitment to price stability and consumer protection. The meeting held in Accra also brought together officials from the Ghana Standards Authority as part of wider efforts to ensure transparency, fairness and regulatory compliance within the cement market. Now, current market data indicates that a 42.5 grade bag of cement is retailing at about 107 Ghana cedis, while 32.5 hour grade ranges between 80 and 85 Ghana cedis. So there's an ongoing dip in cement prices. It's reflecting relative steady stability, improvements in macroeconomic conditions, and easing input pressures across the sector.
We brought that story yesterday to our listeners. Anyway, let me take you to the Ghanaian Times. There's a story on page 13. 3,000 illegal firearms retrieved in Ghana amnesty. Now, the story on page 13 is by Norman Cooper and Abigail Ano, and they say about 3,000 illicit and unregistered firearms have been retrieved from individuals across the country under the government's gun amnesty program. The National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons has disclosed. Now, following the outcome, the Commission has extended the amnesty by 2 weeks, shifting the deadline from January 15 to January 30, 2026 to allow most persons who still have in their possession illegal weapons to surrender them. Now, the Acting Director for Policy Planning, Monitoring, Research and Evaluation at the Commission, Mr. J.B. Asante, made this disclosure in an exclusive interview with the Ghanaian Times yesterday on the latest development.
Now, 9 months officers shot during anti-Galamsey operation. One assailant killed. This is in multiple papers. The Herald has it. But I'll read Abigail Arthur's version from Citi Newsroom. The National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat has confirmed that one of its task force members was shot during an anti-Galamsey operation in the Bono region on Tuesday. In a statement issued by the Lands Ministry, NIMOS said armed assailants hiding in the bushes opened fire when they spotted the team, leading to an exchange of gunfire. One NIMOS officer was hit in the thigh and was immediately taken to St. Matthew's Catholic Hospital at Apem Kuru, where he's currently receiving treatment and responding well. During the exchange, one of the attackers, identified as Abu Ibrahim, was shot and later pronounced dead on arrival at the same hospital. Now, Sky, this is becoming quite militarized. Some of the illegal miners.
Yeah.
And I think the government has to be more firm.
Exactly.
Let me just announce for the public, Ghana Water Company to shut down Pebe headworks for urgent repair works. So this will result in disruption of water to Ho, Pebe, Peki, and surrounding communities. According to the statement, water production will resume immediately after the repair works are completed. The shutdown, the works are scheduled for tomorrow, Thursday. Now, I wanted to point to an international story which is very close to home. So Togo has released the former Burkinabe coup leader to the Burkinabe authorities. And you need to keep your eye open on this story because, you know, last month there was a claim that there was an assassination attempt against the Burkinabe president. Now, Chris Walker is reporting for the BBC that ex-president accused of murder plot expelled from Togo to Burkina Faso. So Togo has arrested and extradited Burkina's former leader to his home country after authorities in Ouagadougou accused him of plotting to kill his successor, Paul Henry Sandaogo Damiba, who came to power in a coup in 2022 before himself being overthrown by Ibrahim Traore 8 months later, is accused by the current regime of masterminding an assassination attempt against Traore. According to the Togolese Justice Ministry, Damiba was handed over to the Burkinabe authorities on Saturday. And whilst all this is going on, Donald Trump has been speaking on Davos. US President Donald Trump has doubled down on his threat to take control of Greenland, saying there is no going back. Asked at a news conference how far he was willing to go to acquire the semi-autonomous Danish territory, replied, "You will find out." It comes after French President Macron warned of a shift towards a world without rules. And Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney saying the old order is not coming back. Trump was due to arrive in Davos ahead of his speech at the World Economic Forum on Wednesday, but a minor electrical issue on Air Force One forced the plane to turn around. It was unclear how the delay would impact his schedule. The White House said the plane was turned around and that Trump would fly to Switzerland on another aircraft. We'll bring you highlights of Davos today. The world is changed and we have to stop our our joking and get this serious because nobody's waiting for us.
You have to catch up.
Very important.